Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, my friends. This is Kevin once again back to you from Personal Tutors. As I've been mentioning, we have been providing you online solutions for the NCERT syllabus of various subjects, my friends. I personally have completed Standard 12th English Literature, Standard 10th, Standard 11th English Literature. Worthwhile, my colleagues have been providing you various solutions for other subjects such as social science, maths, EVS. We have been providing you solutions on Hindi, Sanskrit as well. You can check out our playlists. We at Personal Tutors have been providing expert guidance and trying to give you simplest of the solutions that has ever been provided, my friends. If you want to know something about us, press the button about us, subscribe to our channel as well. In the series today, I'll be explaining you the 9th standard Beehive books poem, Lake Isle of Innesfree, written by William Butler Yeates. William Butler Yeates was basically an Irishman staying in the United Kingdom. As we know, the county and islands are places with lush green pastures, beautiful Irish colleens, by the way, Irish colleens are Irish girls, dams, chocolate factories, confectionaries, and to be overwhelmed by the nature's beauty, my friend. Here, it is depicted by a person, that is the poet, who belongs to an old county, a beautiful village, an inhabited island called Innesfree. Inhabited means not possessed by any men. Suddenly his life changes. He comes to London, my friends, one of the biggest cities in the world. He finds people walking around him, automobiles, various conjuncture, trams, airplanes, and certain things. Suddenly this calm and quiet guy gets an aura of chaotic atmosphere around him. That really creates a slumber in him. Mr. Yeates here, in this poem, one day while walking at the Fleet Street in London, one of the busiest streets in London, my friends, suddenly imagines himself dreaming about his wish to be at the Isle of Innisfree. Innisfree is an island that is inhabited by any human force. It's pure nature, lush pasture, beautiful grass, flowers, glassy water around it, and a wood. The starting lines in this poem, by the way, this poem is divided into 3 quadrants, my friends. Quadrants are a set of 4 lines. So this poem is divided into 3 quadrants. It shows the wish of the poet. It shows what he would be doing out there, completing the wish, and finally coming back to the reality of the chaotic atmosphere around him. So let's have a read at the lines here. It says, I will rise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for honeybees. I live alone in the bee-loud glade. Now, suddenly one morning, while walking at the chaotic street of the Fleet, known as the Fleet Street, Mr. Yeates decides that he'll get up one fine morning, move out to Innisfree. He'll build a cabin out there with clay and wattles. He would sow beans, rows of beans ahead of that cabin that he has, and he would also go ahead and make a beehive, and he would live in an atmosphere that is surrounded by humming of bees, the buzzing of them, the flowers around, they're making their honey and all sort of things. So it's a beautiful feeling that the poet opens up with, that I'll finally leave everything and I'll move out to the calm and quiet place known as Innisfree, and I would love to build up a cabin and live there and have a beehive. I'll culture the bees around, make honey, and thus that would be the atmosphere. The next stanza here, and I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the wheels of morning to where the crickets sing. The midnights all glimmer, the noon purple glow, and evening full of innate wings. Wow. Beautifully said, my friends. A person living in a busy city now explains why he wants to go to Innesfree. He wants to go ahead and spend some time in Innesfree because he knows that he'll find peace. He'll find peace at a place where peace comes dripping slow. That means dripping. It's about the Irish rains, my friend. It's about the dew that falls in the morning, and through the roofs and through the leaves it drips. Watching that dew early in the morning, my friends, is what he calls peace. Can you imagine? The poet here has beautifully discussed types of peace, types of phenomenons where you can experience peace. It's about dripping from the wheels of morning dew to where the crickets sing. Yes, during nights when it's calm and quiet and gloomy, you find a cricket singing somewhere out there, my friend. That's the quietness, that's the sheer peace that the poet here explains. Again he says, the midnights all the glimmer. That means during the midnight, laying down there and watching the starry sky without a sound, just quiet breeze out there, that is what the peace is. In the afternoons, when the sun's not so high, you find the purple sky, turning it into a beautiful evening. And in the evenings, it's all about the flying birds, the innets, So the poet explains here about the beauty of peace experienced by a person who lives in a busy city, my friends. That's all is what our story is, my friends, isn't it? I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement grey, I hear a deep heart's core. Now, I'll explain the first two lines of the last quadrant, my friend. That is, I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. I will arise and go now, for always night and day. There can be many explanations to this specific line, my friends, but the best explanation here is I will arise and go now. That means he really wants him to leave everything and go out there for every night and day. That means every night and every day. He does not want to listen to the automobiles, the honking horns, the trams, the jet planes flying above him, people talking about chatting it out in a chaotic manner. He doesn't want that. He wants to listen to the waves of the lake shrupping the shore. The sound of the waves rummaging the shore is one of the most beautiful sounds of the nature, my friends. I wish I could have gone ahead and explained it to you, yet I would suggest you to try to search it, the sound of waves hitting the shore, my friends. That's one of the most beautiful and calm thing that the poet expects. The conjuncture here changes. It says, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement grey, I hear it in deep heart's core. Now he comes again and says, today I'm standing at Fleet Street. I really want to go out in a place that's peaceful, that's calm and quiet. He wants to break his chains, he wants to break free and lose out himself into the Innesfree atmosphere that he was talking about. Yet he realizes once again that he's back in the noisy, the clumsy, the chaotic street, and all he can do is think, standing at the pavement. But the feeling of going to Innesfree is deep down in his heart's core. That's what he goes ahead and says is what he is looking forward for. He really wishes to be at a place so beautiful as explained in the poem, my friends. Let's have a look at a few question and answers now that would betterly explain to you the crux of the poem. What kind of place is Innesfree? The three things the poet wants to do when he goes back there. What he hears and sees there and its effect on him. What he hears in his heart. And the last line is, a moment, what he hears in the heart's core even when he's far away. Now, but now you must be aware about what place the Isle of Innisfree is. It is a peaceful place, inhabited island, not captivated by any of the people around. He just wants to go ahead and spend some time out there. The three things that he wants to do is, he wants to listen to the shore, the lake's waves rummaging the shore. He wants to build a cabin. He wants to row the beans. He wants to go ahead and let the honeybees make their hives and collect honey. This is what he wants. And next he says is what he hears and sees and its effect on him. He sees the beautiful night sky that gives him peace. He sees the purple afternoons. He hears the crickets sing. He sees the morning glory and the early morning dew dripping down from the leaves, my friends. It really affects him. It really gives him a solace. That solace means peace of mind, by the way. It gives him solace from and a change from the busy street life that he's having in the city of London. The last stanza here says is what he hears and what his heart's core dwells in it. He hears the waves rushing towards the shore and the sound of beautiful, I can just imagine it right now, my friends. I hope you do. He just looks forward and tries to recollect the sound of waves hitting the shore beautifully, going back and then coming again. That's what, according to him, is beauty. But he realizes once again, may it be a horn, may it be a honking or somebody chatting around him, that would be a change. It would be suddenly bringing him back to the reality, where he really laments and says that although anything would happen, he really wishes to be at that place, and in reality he is in the busy street of London, yet in his heart's depth he really wants to be there at the Isle of Innisfree, my friends. Look at the words the poet uses to describe what he sees and hears in Innisfree. Be loud glade, evening full of linnet swing, lake water lapping up with low sounds. Now these things are looking forward that actually the Be Loud glade here is sudden change, sudden loud glade, sudden loud voices of humming bees around. That's what he says over here. The next thing is evening fulls of linnet wings. He sees linnet is a bird. He sees them rummaging around. He sees them airing around, the lake water lapping with low sounds. The lake water, my friends, it laps. The sound of the waves. It's really beautiful, my friends. It's really beautiful, and I would request you to go ahead and try to understand the depth by listening to certain things. You know, the more practical you be at this age would be helping you understand the chapters in more depth, my friends. So these were a few question and answers that I found would be helpful for you to understand the chapter. I once again request you to subscribe to our channel, because we at Personal Tutor have been progressively providing you insight and short and simple explanations to the literature that we have over here. We have been providing quite a number of subjects. We have been providing you playlists, online solutions. We also provide you data in pen drives on request. You just have to go ahead and comment us below, and we would be glad to report you back, my friends. I would request you, if you want to know something about us, just press the button about us, subscribe to our channel for further more videos, my friends. Thanking you today. This is Kevin Lopez signing off. It was good to have you today.